Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different from any other videos I've done. Today we're looking at radiation. I'll bet that radioactivity of the fossils you own isn't something that you've thought of very often. So let's take a look at some of mine. Alright, this is the radiation detector I'm using. It's a thermoscientific Radii. And you can see right now we're reading just normal background radiation levels. We're at 4 to 5 microrads per hour. And our counts per second were pretty low. It doesn't give an exact number. Alright, it says right now we are at a peak of 21 counts per second. Alright, now what these are intended for is for personal monitoring. It's basically to give you a warning and an indication if the radiation level suddenly changes so that you can stop and evaluate your situation and your surroundings and see if you need to back out or if it's safe to keep going. But they work pretty good for this. Now, the reason I have this out today is because I am working on an ilium of a hadrosaur for one of my customers, and this is part of it. But you always want to know, is your fossil radioactive? And sit here and set this on it. And I'm getting nothing. We're still showing 4 microrads. Our counts per second have not really gone up. Which is really good to know. I know that I don't have to take any extra precautions while I'm working on this, just the normal precautions that I would take for dust and, the usual. But let's look at some others. All right, here is that hadrosaur rib that I just posted the video on recently. Let's see if we get anything here. Looks like we've got maybe a little bit. We've gone up maybe 1 rad per hour. Our counts per second. Let's see, has that gone up? Peak of 23. So, not really. We're still basically at background level. That's good to know. Didn't have anything to worry about while working on this one. But that's not true for everything. All right, we've got here is a selection of my fossils. First up, we're going to look at the femur of a Dimetrodon. Now, this is from here in Oklahoma. This is Wellington Formation, roughly 290 million years old. Okay, so we do have some radiation in this. We've jumped up to 9 microrads. And 142 counts per second. So that means that this fossil is radioactive to roughly twice background radiation. That's not something to really worry about. Now, you don't want to lick it. This is another reason, don't lick fossils. You don't want to lick it. Don't sleep with it under your pillow. But you're fine to have it around you. You're fine to display it in your home. I have no worry about carrying this around. I'm not going to be harmed by that. Next up, let's look at, this is a chunk of frill from a Triceratops. This is Hill Creek Formation. This is roughly 66 million years old. Take a look at that. We're showing 10 rads per hour, 11, 12, 'Looks like we're showing 13, 14, and we're showing a peak count of 51. So we're looking at maybe triple background radiation. Still not something to worry about. That's still safe to be in your home. Put it in a display case. And you can see as soon as we take it away from the fossil, that our radiation level drops back down. So next up we have the nice big frill, not frill. This is a nice big unknown. It's just a big unknown plate of bone. It does have some really cool bite marks on it. They're really faint. But again, this is from Hill Creek. And we're 6 microrads, 7. We're still basically roughly background level, maybe a hair above. Definitely nothing to worry about. This is the proximal end of a metatarsal number 3 of a hadrosaur. Eight to 9. Not bad. Barely above background radiation. All right, and this is metatarsal number 3 of a hadrosaur. This is a subadult. It's a complete version of this, just smaller. Let's see what she does. Now our numbers here aren't terrible. We're 8 microrads, 51 counts per second. It's not terrible. The alarm goes off because because I set it on there and it causes it to spike really fast. This is toe bone number 1 of a hadrosaur. Not bad. Barely above background radiation. Nothing to worry about. All right, and this is a giant unknown. Still haven't worked out what it is. This is one of my long-term projects. I work on it in between when I don't have customer projects to work on. I know that this is Hell Creek. I don't know where it came from, but let's take a look at it. Ooh, look at that. 47, 48, 50s. We're well over 100 counts per second. $219, $226. That's a hot fossil. That is something you definitely want to be careful with. You would probably want to limit your exposure to. If you're going, once this is done, this is something you would want to make sure was displayed behind glass. And one thing that you really have to be careful of when you got high radiation levels on a fossil, you got to make sure you take dust precautions. You don't want to get this on your skin and leave it there. You don't want to get this in your lungs, in your mouth, in your eyes. You're not getting rid of that. All right, that's pretty eye-opening. I didn't know that thing was near that hot. So definitely going to take some precautions with that. If you've got fossils in your home, get them checked. Make sure you're safe with them. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. I know I did. Stick around. See you next time.